instructive to go to a professional professor's meeting. In my field, which is philosophy, you go to a congress of philosophers, and you'll find when they all get together in the bar or in the restaurant in somebody's room, the one thing they don't talk about is philosophy. It is very bad form indeed to show interest in philosophy among your colleagues. The same is exactly true in clergy gatherings. They don't talk about religion. What they both talk about is politics. Church politics and academic politics. Because it's bad form to be brilliant on a faculty. Because it outclasses your colleagues. Therefore, faculty people tend to cultivate the studied mediocrity. Mediocrity. And you've got to watch out for that. I mean, if you get mobs of students coming to your lectures, you get pretty black looks from your colleagues. But you see what it is. It's scholarship about scholarship, and not scholarship. Just as learning, because learning is good for you, is irrelevant to learning. The whole idea of improving yourself by learning is irrelevant to the learning process. And in the same way, doing business is doing business. Doing business, such as manufacturing clothes, is a very good thing to do. I could conceive that it would be extremely enjoyable, something one could be very proud of, to make good clothes. Of course you need to sell them because you need to eat. But to make clothes to make money raises another question. Because then your interest is not in making clothes, it's in making money, and then you're going to cheat on the clothes. And then you get an awful lot of money and you don't know what to do with it. The study mediocrity. The study mediocrity.
What's going on, guys? May the 4th be with you. And it looks like the force made the market go up while I was asleep. It's unfortunate, man. But it happens sometimes. Now, I don't get the freaking out, though. Never did. Switch over to the screen. He says the bull run back on. No, we planned on this for like the last week, which makes it kind of even more sad that I'm not in along. But this was always the move. If BTC was able to get back above, particularly about 38,500, we have clearance to the upside until about 45,000. Now, do I think it's going to get to 45,000? No, I don't. But anything can happen, so we'll see. If you guys can't tell, I woke up just a little bit ago. I mean, I didn't change anything. Like, I didn't, like drink any caffeine or anything like that. I took my melatonin at the same time. I did some light stretching before I went to, I tried my best. All right, here we are. I'm trying to fix the whole problem, but I can't help it. But let me get everything set up here. Let's Or flip horizontal. Go. Let me get the chat out. Okay, chat's already out. But plan is in motion, and I'm left behind. That seems to be the issue. Now, I'm not too sad because if we do happen to get back above $4.37 on KDA, I can hop into a long on that. And obviously the percentage increase, you know, it could jump up 20% very easily. And I'll look for some sort of take profit on that once BTC starts reaching that 44,000, 43K region. And hopefully there should be some sort of short position back down. If not, you know, I'm still playing the same. If we do happen to come back below about $4.07, I'll be back in a short. But if we come back above that macro support, I will be in a long. That's my plan going forward. Now, the only thing is if we look at the CIX here, someone brought up last night that the CIX only takes into account Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin. I think I might be in Bitcoin Cash. And that's kind of what I was shooting for. Yeah, I would like to have pretty much all of them, and I know I can use the crypto market cap as, you know, plain Jane for that. But I did want to just get the main coins, combine them all into one. Because I mean, when I come on stream anyways, usually we just talk about a Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe Litecoin, and then obviously like whatever altcoin we're trading for some extra profit if it is there. But we can see that local low, the same type of trade setup that we're playing on BTC at the moment, is being tapped off of. It has gotten above for a hot second. It might still be here. But you can see we're finding resistance at it. So I don't know if this pump is going to be short-lived, but that's a chance you have to take if you want to be in that long. Like I said, I would be in a long if I was up for it. I kind of slept through my alarm, which is hard to do. But like I said, I will be taking KDA's long if it does happen to come to fruition. Let me put the chat up here. So today is basically Star Wars Day. You know, like May the Force be with you. But today's May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you. It's like Mike Tyson trying to say force. Ironically, because we for some reason talk about Mike Tyson a lot on this channel. But yeah. Now, this has turned into a pretty decent short setup. I know a lot of people were messaging about the short setups found in this particular uptrend right here. I didn't believe them to be strong enough, but this one right here, we can combine this into one full uptrend, one full downtrend, one full uptrend. So if you guys are looking for a short position, obviously not financial advice, and it is extremely risky due to the fact that it is right at the support pretty much, but that is a possible setup that is of decent size. All right. Like I said, if you're looking at just this uptrend or just this uptrend, I don't find that to be trustworthy. And the reason why I wasn't taking the longs off of these price points right here is because I had a larger macro setup right here. So I didn't feel the need to play that. But in terms of short positions, we haven't had any good short positions for quite a while. So that is available right there at about 39,166. May the furs be with you. The furries. Yikes. And you'll be surprised what a little bit of long price action will do to the market. Like I said, this is nothing new. We were sitting at a support level, and we had an ABC set up to the upside. All right, so I mean, the setup was there. Everything kind of lined up for it. Now, the only thing is how far we're going to go. Okay? Like I said, In terms of the macro, we only have real probability back up to about 45,000-ish. But with this local high standing on our way at about 43K, and with that lining up with the 0.382, 0.5 region, all right, that seems to be like the likely level that we will tap off of. Like I said, I'm a poopy head, and I missed the long position because I feel like sleep is more important to me right now. But like I said, I'll take the KDA position and then look at BTC when it gets to 44, 43K, and then decide to take profit on KDA if that ever does happen. It's just a matter of what ifs now. Johnny Crypto, it's Wednesday, my dudes. Anton, you said you got wrecked? How'd you get wrecked, man? What's your definition of wrecked? Yeah, like my the challenge portfolio is down to $2,600 right now, just because some of the profits from the short have fallen back to the upside, and I don't have any hedge positions. But it could soon change. Yeah, that's not wrecked though. You know? Not crypto person, but the channel was recommended by Search with Meditation. Do you think meditation addresses / reduce stretch and anxiety? Yeah, so if we're taking a lot of like the mystical stuff from meditation out of it, the simple act of like controlling your breath. So if you're breathing more than 6 times a minute, you're basically sending a signal to your brain that there is a predator. There's a reason to be stressed. And that just increases your cortisol and everything like that. And if you do that over a long period of time, it can have some severe side effects. So if you can just sit for about 20 minutes twice a day and just breathe in, breathe out, count to about 7, and then breathe in, breathe out, count to about 7, you're going to be in that 5 to 6 breath range. So the meditation biologically is going to help you. I've also been doing the research on the stretching, which is also basically just yoga. Basically, forgot the name of it, but your hip flexors, for layman's terms, if those are tightened, it basically signals the same thing. So if you can loosen up your hip flexors, you're basically signaling to the brain that you're relaxed. There is no predators. There's no reason to be on the move. There's plenty of things that you can do to physically to cause a mental reaction of less stress. Like last night, after that stretch, my heartbeat went from about like 100 to about 88, just by loosening up my hip flexors. And then once I did the breath rate control for about 30 minutes, I was able to get down to 75, which if you know me, that's pretty hard to do. Like sitting in this chair right now, I guarantee you my heart rate's at least 95, just because my adrenal glands are so active. But yeah, my heartbeat's 112. If you can, theoretically, if you can control yourself and be calm when your adrenal glands are lit up like a firework on 4th of July, when they're not active, you're just chillax. Powell said words. Market? Okay. The market is okay. Hi, buddy. I just got some beetroot gummies. Did you say good things? What if Soph did? Yeah, so I don't think the gummies are really going to be as powerful. I would look for a beetroot extract because it's just a lot more for what you're doing. Yeah, the psoas muscle. Yeah, that was it. It helps with the production of nitric oxide, which basically like makes your blood less viscous. So if you can keep up on your hydration and your nitric oxide, your blood can flow through the system much, much easier. If you're not in the best health condition like I am, that's a really good thing, because then you don't have to pump your heart as hard and have the chance of like breaking off calcification, causing a stroke or a heart attack. British, British, Pratish. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I woke up like this in the most literal definition.
Getting out of your own way ceases to be a matter of choice when you see that there's nothing else for you to do. When you see, in other words, that doing something about your situation.
You don't use Twitter at all. May I ask why? Because everyone is on Twitter. There just hasn't been much reason for me to. I guess it could be like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Since I don't use Twitter, people don't follow me on Twitter, so there's no reason for me to use Twitter. But if I see it, you know, I don't know if that makes sense. I ain't here to please the masses. I'm here to talk about the stuff that's important to me. And right now, trying to get my life in order through my health is what's important. Always has been, but for some reason I failed to do so. But I've made some positive strides in the past couple weeks, so we're on our way there. I actually can't bring myself to do it, but I was gonna order like one of those walking treadmills for the house, just like one of those ones you can fold up and put in the corner. But then I'm like, what am I doing in my life, man? Walking is free. Like I can go outside, but obviously like when it's 90 degrees outside, it's a little bit hard to do. And thunderstorming today. I think I need to do a little more stretching as well, just because I sit in a chair all day. You drinking? No, this is not vodka. This is what gear? This is pH balanced volcano water because bougie. Wouldn't that be absolutely terrible? I get on here, start talking about my health and how I need to fix and all that stuff, and I just take a gigantic liter of vodka to the face. That would be not setting a good example. Okay, do you use 12-hour and 4-hour for your macro ABCs? Yes, I do. So like right now, the main ABC for my KDA trade that is possibly coming up here shortly is this ABC that you can only really see from a higher time frame. And then on Bitcoin, the short position that I'm currently sitting in is from this ABC right here, which you can only really see from a larger time frame. Now, depending on what size of your screen, 4K, 1080p, 1440p, you're going to be able to see more with the smaller time frame. That's why, like, even though like you might be on a 12-hour on your phone in portrait mode, that's not using a large time frame, because it's about the perspective of the price action that you see. So if you're on a phone, you're going to need to use like the weekly chart to get the same perspective as someone with a 4K screen, you know, 24, 27 inches. So it's once again, the time frame, like the actual 4-hour, 2-hour, 8-hour, that's not what matters. It's what those price action points or time frames give you in terms of perspective of what you can actually see. Now, obviously, when it relates to indicators, it might be a tad bit different, but since I don't really use indicators all that often, I mean, I might check them just for shits and gigs, but like right now, I'm pretty sure there's a decent amount of bullish divergence here, and on a higher time frame as well. Let's go down to the 2-hour. Yeah, so I mean, the 2-hour, we can see lower low, lower low, lower low, and we can see higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. All right, so we got bullish divergence, but the ABC setup was there. I didn't need to see the divergence. That's what I've been saying most of the time. It's not that I don't like the RSI. I think it's one of the best tools out there. It's just the simple fact that pretty much every single time that an ABC setup forms, there's a divergence, and sometimes there's not, and the ABC setup still works out. So if you're not taking trades because there's not a divergence, that can also get you in trouble. Thank you, man. calling me humble is, I don't know if that's the right word, but can you explain how to use your ABC method or strategy? So, sure. I'll start with this. So the ABC strategy is not a magical system that is guaranteed to work. What the ABC strategy allows you to do is have structure in terms of how you approach the market, not only in mindset, but also in risk parameters. And that is one of the most important things. Typically, people are willy-nilly with how they do that. You know, they'll change their risk based on how confident they are on something, or, you know, they'll flip-flop between whether or not they want to take the trade, or, you know, I don't know if there's so much confidence and emotions and scared and wrapped up all in this regular style of trading. The ABC setup is there to take that away. Now, does that mean that it's going to make you the most profitable? No. What it means is it should make you consistent. All right. So consistent emotions ideally leads to consistent profits over a long period of time. Doesn't mean that there's not going to be periods of time where ABCs get caught up in some chop like we've had the past couple of days / week. And it hurts. All right. It hurts. It does. But it's those moments of hurt where like people can overreact and they can, you know, go, I'm using 1% risk, and all of a sudden they lose a couple trades in a row and they're like, okay, my account's down $200. I need to make that money back as quick as possible, so I'm screwed. Why are you screwed? Why are you screwed? You weren't screwed before. Why are you screwed now? And then they start using 5% risk, so hopefully they make all that money back easily on the next trade. And then they lose that trade. You get caught up in those cycles, it's going to hurt. So pretty much the ABC strategy is you identify, it does start with a little bit of anticipation. So say, for example, we only had this uptrend and we only had this downtrend. Okay, none of this upwards price action known as my C existed yet. So from a logical perspective, if I see a uptrend and a downtrend that does not put in a lower low and we get a nice little bounce, okay, I can assume that it might be trying to make a larger ABC setup. So what I did is I took the long from the ABC at the bottom of my B, theoretically, and I waited it out. A lot of what you're doing in the market is having an idea of what could happen and playing the smartest decision, all right, to the theoretical maximum profit. Now, you're never going to be able to cash out on the exact top, all right? Maybe you can, but it's very rarely going to happen. But it's about letting the trades play themselves out if they can, because that's where the money is. The money is not in taking slight profit over the course of 1,000 trades. It's about big, chunky winners and small losses in between, right? And I know it sucks because we love constant winning. We hate constant losing. But if you want to win, that's kind of what this is all about. So at that point, once we put in a higher high than our A, all right, if we come back below the A, we can assume that the C wave is done. From there, if we do not have, all right, in this case scenario, we have a large downtrend, a large uptrend that did not put in a higher high, I can assume that we might try to put in a lower low C, or at least a double bottom. So that's why I'm still holding the short position. In the meantime, right, there is a long position right here, and there has been for the last couple of days. And we have been aware of this. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch it this morning as we popped above that support, but that is there. So if we have a resistance from the larger short setup, this ABC is larger than this ABC. Okay. So purely simple, you know, larger, smaller. The smaller one does not have as much probability or priority for price action to do what that one wants it to do. So we don't have, you know, all-time high probability just from this ABC. Technically, we can come all the way back up to like the 46,000, 45,000 range. But we do have resistance in the way around 43 to 44. So it's just something to be aware of. So when you find these setups, it does, like I said, require a little bit of anticipation in the beginning. You do have to now take the next step, which is how do you structure your entire portfolio around this? If you're using macro setups, you can use a little bit more risk. I'm not saying a lot more, I'm saying a little bit more. So if I'm typically using 1%, I might be able to use 2, all right? Because you're playing higher probability setups. And if those probability setups do work out, there's more profit to be had. Therefore, if you took a couple losses trying to get that entry, it's no big deal. All right. So you do need to use some sort of risk calculator. All right. In the description, you can find mine. I didn't make it. Someone else took the formula that I made and turned it into a calculator. So you pop in how much your account is worth. All right. So right now my account is worth $2,600. All right. And you're trying to get this bottom tab down here, portfolio at risk, to around 1 to 2%. If you're playing a high risk altcoin that has a lot of R&R potential, but is highly manipulatable, all right, such as KDA, ENS, whatever it might be, all right, because when there's low volume on the exchange, a simple $10,000 price buy, all right, can increase the price and get you stopped out. Just how it works. That's why if you're trying to go for consistency, I would play BTC, I would play Ethereum, I would play any of the top 10 coins. The further you get down that list, the higher the likelihood is that someone can use quantification in order to stop you out. All right, not manipulation, using their brain. All right, that's what that's called. All right, so get this down to like 1% less if you're on an altcoin. All right. And then from there, you can set this calculator up however you want. What's important is that portfolio at risk. Now, your stop loss is going to determine what your R&R is. All right, because if you're willing to lose money faster, all right, you will be rewarded with potential profit. If you are not willing to lose money faster, all right, you will be docked profit off of the overall trade. There's no way around that. That's the laws. There's an equal and opposite reaction, right, to how you set this up. If you want to play high risk, you can have high reward. Right now, there's like little tricks out there, like with mining, that we're able to make these altcoins, you know, high reward, low risk. But in traditional leverage trading, there's really no way around that. There's just not. All right, so we have to try our best to get those parameters as close to safe as possible and then play them as such. So if you're having trouble like taking a lot of trades or DCAing into losing trades, lock up more of your margin in a good trade. That way you don't have the availability to screw it up. All right, if you can handle yourself, yeah, you can use, if I'm only wanting to lose, you know, 1% of my portfolio, I can use 5% of my portfolio as margin and risk 25% or 20%, my bad, of that margin. So 20% of 5% of my account is 1% of the whole. Make sense? All right. And then from there, if I want to have, you know, kind of like a casual setup, 1.5% stop loss is kind of like the medium range for me. All right. I typically use 1% because I'm able to be more risky. All right. But now the way things are going, my sleep schedule, maybe I have to use a little bit higher stop loss, which does suck. But things change. All right. And then from there, what it's doing is it's taking how far you need to come in order to get stopped out. And then it's dividing your risk, your 20% risk, by 1.5% and giving you your leverage. So for every 1.5% that price action moves, you need to lose 20%. All right. And then obviously that's your stop loss. That's how it's getting the leverage. All right. And then obviously if you're using inverse perpetual, it can give you your contract size to use. But otherwise, you just fat finger in how much your margin is worth. So $130. Yeah, Chris, I've heard it before, man. I get it. I understand. But I don't know. To me, like, there's no reason at the moment, just because I feel like the crypto market is going to die off here over the next couple of months, because obviously bear market, people aren't excited. So, you know, the people that are here, the people are here. Maybe next halvening I'll freshen up. Hire an artist on Fiverr. You know? I don't know.
If I cannot follow the will of God by my own effort because my will is selfish, how will my will, which is selfish, be transformed into an unselfish will? If I cannot do it because
Kite, these stops are getting ridiculous. Well, I mean, look what you just typed in chat. You're playing ENS, KDA, Algo, and ZIL. High volatility, manipulatable altcoins with a 1% stop loss. So you're playing a high volume of shitcoins with a small stop loss. And you're asking for trouble. All right, me, I played ENS like twice before it slipped away from me. But I've just been playing KDA and Bitcoin. All right, one that's, you know, obviously Bitcoin right now is not that good either, but most of them I haven't even been able to take just because of my sleep schedule. You got to weather the storm. That's all it is. Guys, if you got stopped out your A entry setup, do you wait for the exact A entry price again, or do you hop in deeper or higher on the C? Typically, I just wait for the A setup again. But let's say we do get far enough away from the A, and there is a legitimate new setup made. I'm talking legitimate. I'm talking higher time frame. All right, because some people are just too eager to take trades, and you are looking at the smallest of instances where things shift. Increase your time frame. Once again, when I talk about time frame, it's not necessarily just switching from the 1 hour to 2 hour, because then you can just zoom in and look at the same price action like you were before. Take note of your perspective. That's why I'm telling you, you know, when you look at your chart, if you're not fully zoomed out and you can still see the setup that you're talking about, all right, then it's not worth taking. Nah, sushi's not on my radar at the moment. Just the project's not doing well. And the fact that we're kind of like fully out of the bull market at the moment, mathematics wise, I'm not talking about, you know, we can have upwards price action in a bear market. I don't get why that's a foreign concept. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of like hope for like money to come into projects willy-nilly. Question, in your tutorial video, you say you enter the A as it's crossing. Do you limit in that order? No, I don't. I mark it. Because it's a trigger. It's a setup, and then it creates the entry. You can try to limit. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that there's times where it comes back below the A or back above the A, and there is no room for limit orders. That thing shoots. Kind of like today. All right. We did have a little bit of a retest right here. You could have got a limit order, but that's not always a thing that can happen. So I'm willing to pay the piper. Can you share any insight to why alts are retracing back to the upside today/yesterday? Not just because BTC, Ethereum, and most of the larger coins were at supports. And because if BTC can retest the upside, that gives hopium to the rest of the market. All right, look at where BTC's been sitting. All right, we had this local low right here, this local low right here, and this local low right here. All right. So we were sitting at support and getting signs of bullishness. And this area right here was just choppy to begin with. You can see that from here to here, you can see this back and forth price action, very choppy. So uh, when you're at support, you have the availability to retest the upside. Do you get bored trading? Yeah, that's why I like the YouTube stuff, because we don't have to always talk about price action. So it kind of gives me, like a system to just chat. I play video games. I do stuff like that. Trying to keep my mind going. Obviously, I need to supplement a lot of the stuff that I'm doing with healthier activities. So, like I said, I'm trying to make sure like I have some sort of system set up for the rest of my life that I can follow very easily. So right now, it's such a paradigm shift in how I normally approach my day that it's difficult. It's like breaking an addiction to how I lived before. So it's not easy. It's just as hard as the first couple of years of trading, I guess. But eventually, I'll find my strategy. Keep it simplistic. Go on, Kite. Give me some hopium. Bear trap confirmed with high time frame closures above 41,500 and 42,000. Kazakhstan's. Very nice. I don't know if there's gonna be a bear trap or not. Like I said, it's a simple matter of probability. I can't knock the longs right now. As much as I would love for my shorts to continuously work out, understand that this was a probability is important to keeping my emotions in check. Right? I've been saying it. As long as we're above 38,600, we have some probability up to about 43, 44, 45K. All right. So until we get back up to that region and see some signs of bearishness, I can't really shit on the longs. I can't shit on the bullas. All right. If we can come back above this level, yeah, all fine and dandy. Let's get back in those shorts, baby. But until then, there's nothing I can do. Hey, don't do that. Ridiculous. Gives me a heart attack. Yeah, be careful though. The time to turn bulla was when we came back above 38,500. Because the last thing I want to see you do is turn bulla when we get up to 43K. Because that's the bear trap, man. What's my age? Am I a student? I'm 22 and I'm a student of life. Very cringy to say that, but hey, it's true. Aren't we all? And my hair is all over the place today. I'm so sorry. I try to be pretty for you guys. Guy, don't blame your health on fish. Hey, you can't blame me. When it's nice and silent in the room and all of a sudden a dog barks at full volume, it scares me. Fish, you're the reason why I'm dying. You know that, right? A fish. Trying to get him to snort into the microphone. Hey Kite, I'm curious why KDA, as opposed to some of the other alts you were playing before, like Sushi, have retracement potential. Just because Sushi, like the actual project itself, is really suffering. I read this long list of complaints that made a lot of sense. Whereas KDA, it's got a community behind it. It's a newer project. It's already shown signs of being able to see upwards prices. Mentally, I'm long in this area, but unfortunately, my account doesn't reflect that. Like I said, if KDA can get back above its macro local low here, I'll have a long position that should do pretty well. But otherwise, if we can't break back above this macro local low, we are heading down to $1.36. Ocean blue. That is yikes. Am I an introvert? I would say so. You trying to do an FBI test on me? Find out how to socially manipulate me? Kite Crypto, where do you long KDA? I'll be long from KDA if it crosses back above $4.37. Oh, happy birthday, man. Belated birthday, that is. Waves analysis. Waves. If I click on this chart and it's anywhere close to BTC or Ethereum, what we talked about, I'm going to be so pissed at you. I'm not lying. All right, okay. It's not. I can see why you wanted me to look at it. There's absolutely nothing I can say about it. Like, there's really not. Besides the fact that we have a extremely large macro ABC to the downside. With this being a possible local low of some sort, you can see we're getting some sort of bounce come in. But small time frame, I can't tell you anything about this chart. I can't. There's absolutely nothing in this price action to allow me to do my job with any sort of remote accuracy. All right. So I would stick to the larger time frames. That's all. You can see if you were playing the larger time frames on waves, you had this ABC set up here. All right. You had the macro ABC set up here. All right. I'm sorry if you're on the smaller time frames and you're searching for a position, but there just ain't one, man. There ain't. Now, we might be able to form some sort of ABC with this starting in A, but you have to wait for the B and the C. Other than that, there's nothing. Yeah. There's no there's nothing I can say about that, man. Now you can start marking out possible support regions. All right. If you do happen to have a lower low than $7.61, you can possibly find support at $4.81. You can possibly find support at $2. Or if you want to break down a lot lower, 56 cents. BTC going to the moon now? I won't say just yet. It depends on what your definition of the moon is. 43,000, 44,000? Is that the moon? I don't know what I would vlog about. I mean, this is pretty much my vlog. I hop on here at least like once a day. Or at least that's what it's been like the past 2-3 weeks or something like that. We've been pretty consistent. And I talk about what's going on in my life in combination with the charts. So I mean, I guess it's a vlog. No, I didn't catch the ENS short. I got stopped out twice and then entered a third time. And then by the time I woke up, I was stopped out and it was already going down. So I can't enter a trade late. It's at entry or nothing. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of like wiggle room, but not much. Not much. Like BTC. I've been talking about this BTC setup all week long. All right. And I've played it many times, but I woke up this morning. It took off without me. There's nothing I can do about that. Why don't you go long now if you're so confident on it going up to 45K? Because we're in the chop region now. All right. Ain't no reason for it. There'll be new setups in the future. No reason losing the money now. Stay calm, stay relaxed. Okay, here comes the flood of shit coins. But Litecoin's not a shit coin. They're all shit coins. Alright, so Cake's got a decent setup. We're looking at the 12-hour here. You have a downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. So you really want to see price action get back above $9.27 and hold. All right, from there you could see a possibility of a retest up to $26. Like I said, with the rest of the market being extremely bearish, I severely doubt that, but it's there. If you just want to look at this market and this market alone and say this market is king, it's there. All right. Now on the smaller time frames, you do have a ABC setup or a hill that is very, very decent as well. Now it's past its entry point. We had downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. All right. And as long as you were back above $7.57, you have probability to the upside. Now, without us putting in a second high here, I would say that there is the possibility that this is going to make a larger ABC structure. So I'd probably be looking for like a higher high than $11, and then using the $11 as my hedge position for shorts. So if we came back below $11.04 after putting in a higher high, that's why I would go short on Cake from. When are you going for a date this year? I don't know, man. I told the one girl I'm just gonna get Taco Bell. Not interested. Whenever I don't have a large percentage chance of dying from fun activities, then we'll go for it. But right now, sitting in a chair with my heart rate this high. I'm cool. Market already factored in, so it's almost like relief because his comments for the future weren't really expected hawkish. So if you could check waves and Cake, then may I suggest a song? Yeah, suggest a song. I got you. I thought you were about to say another shit coin. I was like, grr. Oh, that is true. That is true. No. No. Did you learn this ABC strategy from somewhere else? So if you look back at my channel from the very beginning, I have tried pretty much everything. Gone Fans, Market Cipher, EXO charts, your footprint charts, book map, all this shit that people love to spew a bunch of shit about. What seemed to start to work for me was Elliott Wave. Now, fortunately, like I didn't get caught up in that whole type of Elliott Wave where like I have to see these numbers. In the very beginning, maybe I did, but I used it more as like finding out what are the possibilities, narrowing it down to maybe 1, 2, 3 high probabilities, and then playing it as such. And by that time, I already had my risk reward calculator. I knew about Kelly criterion, so I was very adept with risk management. And then I read, by coincidence, I found a book called Harmonic Elliott Wave, A Case for Modification of R.N. Elliott's Impulse Wave Structure by Ian Copsley. Very long name. And he proposed the idea that you could take the traditional Elliott Wave structure and just break it down into ABCs. No matter, because traditional Elliott Wave, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside, and then you have ABCs to the downside. But what Ian Copsley proposed was that if you look at most ABCs or most 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s, they look like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 1, 2, and 3, or it could be flipped around. The 3, the 4, the 5 would be in an uptrend, and then the 4 would break the uptrend, and then 5 would retest the uptrend. So when you really break down anything revolving around Elliott Wave or ABCs, it's all trends. And the biggest problem that people have is learning how to separate trends quickly and identify the points that really matter. Because most people get caught up, like if you look at this price action right here, just this price action, right? Most people are going to see 1,000 different lines and go, which one matters? To me, I just see downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. That ability to separate the noise from what really matters is the key to this.
It's an opportunity for you to reassess, reboot, get better, figure out another way, find another way through. It's just challenges. And the people that look at those challenges go, whoa.
I'm basically grandfathered in. I made a Binance account back in 2016, and I have never logged onto it without a VPN. So in no way, shape, or form have they questioned me at all. I can withdraw, I can deposit, I can buy, I can sell. I got lucky, I guess.
My friend Jocko, every morning I'll check his Instagram page, 4:30, shows a picture of his watch. Get after it.
Unfortunately, I slept through with the long positions. So I'm currently sitting in a macro short when the market's a little bit bullish. It sucks, man. I am waiting on possibly a position on KDA, but if not, if KDA does come back above or back below $4.07, I'll be hopping back into the short position. I mean, I don't put much credence on this. I really don't. So please don't ask me any questions about it. I don't care about this. But for shits and gigs, all right, we're looking at the EMA. I have it set to a 200 length. And we can see the 200 EMA on the 4 hour, all right, has been being used as resistance. So maybe, just maybe, we're not going to go up. All right, like I said, I don't put any significant probability on that whatsoever. I do not have it on my main charts. It is a function of Bybit, so I left it on there because I'm lazy. All right, it just so happens that it's lining up a price action.
After a while, even if they're your good friend, you gotta be like, bro, you gotta fucking stop. You gotta stop with all this I can't catch a break bullshit. All the time.
Okay, may I ask?
You could be instead hustling. You could be instead chasing your dream. You could be instead
Wait, Loco Box, did you suggest a song yet?
getting your shit together, reading a book, meditating, something. Fucking something. Something. Fucking something. But this I can't catch a break shit is not helping anybody.
If you see almost all the altcoins on a large time frame, they're forming ABCs, but the situation now is more likely going into a bear market. What's your opinion? Bitcoin, Ethereum takes priority. Yeah, so like on KDA, well, I see a large term ABC. And do I think that if we come back with $4.37, we can see bullish price action? Of course I do, but I don't think that it's going to be like a large amount. It might look similar to sushi, right? Remember what happened on sushi? Sushi had a large ABC, and we came back above the A. Did we see a new all-time high? No, we did not. We saw a nice pop in price action and then continuation. I think that might be the same case scenario on a lot of these altcoins. Thoughts on the future of trading with AI? I'll demolish the AI. I will destroy them. Not just in the market, but physically. I will find them. Those little campus robots that deliver food. They better not catch me. I'll destroy them. Taking jobs away from DoorDash. They took our jobs. And then just throw it in a sewer. A sewer. Thanks. What's up, man? Hope all is good with you and the fam and the fish. It is, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for asking. How you doing? You said artist is Adrian. Adrian. I warn you, if it's not on Spotify, I'm not gonna be able to play it here. Okay, it is. Now what's the song? Breathe, fix, and live. Gotcha. I'll load it up for the end of the stream. How do you use funding rates at times to your advantage? Show me an angle, Williams. So usually you can't really use it to your advantage unless there's an extreme disparity in the actual funding rate. So when you see a negative funding rate on BTC, yeah, you can assume that more people are trying to short at that moment in time, right? That there might be a chance for some increased upside. All right, that's usually how the markets work. Now, when you are on, say, a shitcoin like ZIL, and you see like a -2, -3 funding rate, that means that shorts are so strong at the moment that if they start to get liquidated, you are going to see a massive pop to the upside. Massive. That's what we saw on ZIL. That's why ZIL's at where it's at right now. All right. Now, you look at the funding rate right now. All right. -0.04. Yeah, that is a significantly shorting funding rate in terms of like what we see on average. But is it crazy? No. I'm talking about literally -2, -3, not -0.04, -0.03. I'm talking about -1, -2, -3. That's when you can, try to take a long And if things go your direction, they are going to go your direction extremely. All right. That's what I did here. We saw -3, -4 funding rate. And when people start to get liquidated, they have to buy back in the market. And since there's so many of them, to the upside. And would you look at that? Would you just look at it? Look at that nice ABC on Zill. You love to see it. All right, guys. I think how long have we been streaming for today? About an hour. Right on time. My my biological clock for streams is is pretty spot on. I want to log off, go get some food, do some stretching. If it has stopped thunderstorming, I'll probably go take a walk since it's cooled down outside. Yeah. Like I said, I right now my health is more important, but I am sad about missing some of these trades lately. But the setups are there, we talk about them, so just because I miss them doesn't mean you have to. So if that is something that you're interested in, not financial advice. On a scale from 0 to 10, how religious are you? A 10. But like I don't prescribe to like any certain thing. I was raised Christian, but I've researched a lot of different philosophies and doctrines, and you know, read their different their books. But it's an experience thing. You know, you don't have to believe in God to know that there's something out there. That's all it is. And it depends on what your definition of God is. Tao, God is everything. It's just the flow of life, whether it be inanimate objects or you or the sun. It's just the natural force. Like me personally, I don't believe like God's playing Legos. He's not setting up scenarios for us all day long. More like he wrote an RNG code. He ran it because he knew that eventually it would form something intelligent. And I say he just because that's just what it is. You know, that's what we typically refer to God as, but it. And it's all beautiful. So there you go. Hopefully that answered your question. All right, guys, let's do the outro today. I look a little bit dusty, so forgive me. Bye. I'm the Hulk. Yeah.
to play pretend. Oh, and kill yourself. One